I picked up a new camera.
Oh, we're gonna use that at shoots and stuff.
Yeah, because we've been using the GH4 for 10 years now. And last shoot, I was just there was a little technical hiccups with it, and also the footage coming off of it wasn't up to my liking. So I figured we'd get a new one. This is another Panasonic. But this is full frame. It has an upgrade sensor from the one I use for the main camera from Boxmac, and so I think it's got a really wide lens. So I think it'll work as a new B camera for Boxmac. It's been 10 years in the making. We got a new one.
I guess camera technology has advanced quite a bit in the last 10 years, huh?
Yeah. I mean, because the GH4 was the first 4K, or one of the first 4K consumer cameras. And that's
Right.
why we got it. I reviewed it famously back in the day, and then you got it. For those of you who don't know, the GH4 is a new camera from Panasonic, and it's currently one of the cheapest DSLRs that can do 4K video directly to an SD card. And then we used it for the first Boxmax, and that was 10 years ago.
And I think when we shot a bit of Till Death Do Us Part on it as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've been using. I mean, I don't even know how many hours that thing's clocked. A lot. We made a lot of content with that thing.
It was time for an upgrade, and it is nice.
Paid for by viewers like you. After the new year, once I get through this hellish editing period of my life, get this: Confused Matthew. You know him?
Say hello to Confused Matthew.
Yeah, I remember him.
He wants to come on here and talk to us about Deadpool and Wolverine.
What?
Yeah,
That's random.
yeah. So we're gonna do that.
Sure, baby. Is he gonna have a face cam, or is he gonna have his little?
Well, that'd be fun. Jason, he and I have sat in this very basement and we watched Kick-Assia together.
So should I watch it?
Yeah, you have to.
Where does that exist?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Okay.
And then there's a making of that we should watch too. So we'll have a Jason on. We'll do that in depth, and I think we'll do all the Doug Walker movies.
Next time, Frankie, you gotta come up with the top 5 media for next podcast.
Oh, okay.
Top
All right.
5 media of the year.
Okay, I can do that. Top
Whenever
5 media. Yeah, I want to have more slot. We got like Levi and Scotty and Mike and John Finger. I would love to have all those guys on at some point starting in January. Hats Off Entertainment, that very popular YouTube channel. That dude and I have been chatting, and he may come on here to talk about some
great.
stuff. That'd be fun. I got to review Rita's Rewind. So there's a lot of stuff. And then I've got mac and cheese boxes over there. The guy who owns the Rapid Mac contacted me like half a year ago, and he's got his own brand of mac that he wants us to try. So there's just so much stuff that's coming.
Yeah, there was somebody on Discord. It's like, oh, there hasn't been much like EJ content. Like, and I'm like,
There's not.
I just can't. For one thing, it's just like. You have kids.
I have kids. I don't think I need to explain that.
And it's like, you just want to spend time with them. And, and work also gets like, as you get older, it gets more demanding. So it's like, you do that. And also the podcast has been, it's just been satisfying to me, I think.
Yeah. And it certainly releases.
It releases very regularly.
I predict that in the coming year, I want to redo some things. I want to reset some things. Because I'm back on this. This keeps happening where I'm kind of on this like, oh, I have to do that, and I have to do this, and I said I would do that, and there's like it starts to just be too many of those things, where you're beholden to too many masters, and somebody else is living your life for you to some degree. And there's just not enough fucking seconds in the day. Now, granted, like we got editing help now, and so I think, like leveraging more of that and figuring out the channel from there. It's funny. My church, they've existed for like 13 years. A couple of funny things happened recently where every year they had the picnic. They had like a huge picnic at La Salette. Every year they had the flannel fest. Every year they had this. Every year they had that. So they had come into like, every year we do this and every year we do that. And they all just kind of like prayed, and they were like, let's not just do it to do it. Let's not just do it because we always, let's like constantly do things in a weird new way. I like that. I want to try to adopt. Cause I'm like really bad at like disrupting like the schedule that's been set. So that'd be a cool thing. And another note, I went to like one of their town meetings or something. It was like about like the state of the church, and everybody, all the questions kept being like, "Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? Is this going to happen? How come we don't do more of this? And how come we don't do more?" It was very much like a Q&A for Red Cow, where it's like, when will we get more this show?
Maybe.
Were you all planning on doing another parody that was similar?
Maybe.
And the answer is
Maybe.
Maybe.
as far as Peter, I think Peter Smith comes up a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Will you wear wigs?
Maybe.
Like every question is like, will you do this? It's a good problem to have, but you want people to demand your stuff. It's just that like, it's not all doable simultaneously. I like making people happy. So
Yeah. No, I understand.
But the pastor, this dude Zach, he was like, he's like, hey, Owen, he's like, by the way, if you're asking a question of like, are we going to do this and are we going to do that? I assume that. He said it in a really nice way. He was like, I assume that you're the point person on that idea. A lot of these are great ideas. I assume that you're like the owner of that. So just if you're going to be doing it, let us know and what resources you need, and we'll make that happen for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that'd be a good, I'm like, if you want to try to make more cool things happen and want to be like, like the way, I mean, I had to be very involved in it, but the way Levi was like, I want to do a VHS tape, and it kind of turned into a project together. It was like more things like that would be cool.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, so yeah, I popped in the Box Mac tapes and on my big 32-inch Trinitron TV, and I wasn't planning on watching the whole thing. I was just like, I just want to test it and make sure it looks good. And I sat down and watched the whole thing. It was like so relaxing. It was so
That's
good.
awesome.
And I was cracking up the whole time like I've never seen the thing, but of course.
You were there for every second of it.
And I've watched all the uploads over the years, and it was just like, it was a new way to experience it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because I mean, especially when you output this often, like there's only so much time to go back and rewatch old things, so you almost need like an excuse.
Yeah,
and it looked good on that TV, that TV that you love there. Yeah,
yeah, it was amazing, and so good effort by you and Levi. It's an undertaking.
Yeah, I was surprised. He was the one who was like, "Let's make it 4x3." And I was like, oh, really? And he was like, well, don't you think? And I was like, yeah, I do think.
All right, Apple Boy. They call me Apple Boy because I like apples. They see me on the street, say, hey, Apple Boy, try my cake. And I'm going to try the cake. I think it's friggin' good. Yeah, it's warm. Good balanced apples. I like it warm, actually. Oh, good, perfect ratio of cinnamon and sugar. And no, Frankie's wrong. He's been wrong his whole entire life. Apple Boy is right.
Rude.
You like it?
I even like it that it's warm. Because I do like warm apples, unlike some people.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.